Thanks for doing this.
No problem.
So we're traveling across the US from New York to LA to come and see venues like this.
Awesome.
Because we, during COVID, we spoke to Neva. We spoke to the guys at Neva. Let me just check I pressed record. Yes, I did. And that really scared me because they told us, and I think you remember, right?
Yeah, of course.
They told us that 88% of the membership at the time I interviewed them would have gone out of business without federal funding.
Oh, for sure.
Which is
100%.
was crazy to us. That was the driver behind this.
Yeah.
And I think once we decided to start coming out, like what I'd like to do is understand what drives people to own an independent venue and do this, because you guys aren't doing it to make millions of dollars.
No.
And like I looked at the history of this place, and I think was it 92?
92.
92 you started.
This is our 31-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, the 22nd was my official day, so in 2 days, yes, it'll be officially 31 years. So.
You and two partners?
Correct.
Started it up?
Yep.
So, and had you guys done anything in the music industry
Not
before?
at all. I mean, we were all worked at a restaurant together, and we're sort of just a fluke. It wasn't really like intended to be like a live music venue. We're like, there was like corner bar that nothing was going on, and we were like, oh, we should open a bar here. It was very unplanned.
Yeah. And then when it started, was it a music venue or was it just a bar?
We did shows. Time out. My keys are right there. Maybe somebody else can move my car. Sorry. It was just like a corner bar that we did bands at occasionally, and then it's sort of as time went on, pretty quickly we started to do bands on a regular basis. And then at the beginning we sort of had an identity crisis, like sure, we have food, we had a kitchen, we didn't know what we were doing, but then the music sort of stopped. And then fast forward, within a couple of years, one of the partners was gone, and a couple of years later the other one was gone, and it's pretty much just been me. I'd say for at least 20 years, maybe 25. I don't even remember. I don't think either of them were there for the 10-year anniversary. So So
and then it becomes, and that's the other interesting thing I think about these venues. And like when I think about Chicago, you know, you have this.
Hi. You're up next.
Phil, I'm Phil.
Kathy. Hi. Welcome.
I'm gonna get myself together for a second.
Okay. And if you give me like 10 minutes, my loader should be here, because originally I told them 3:30, and then I said come closer to 3:15.
Hey man, I'm Connor. Good to meet you, Connor. Nice to meet you.
Kathy, hi. That's Leo.
You love Leo.
Hi, Rachel. Let's. Simon, maybe wait like 10 minutes to even start unloading, because I got 2 kids coming that'll do most of it. Okay. Sorry.
It's alright, it's a reality.
Yeah, right? Are we still filming?
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Right. I guess that's how it works.
What was I going to ask? So when I think about like Chicago, and we've been there 12 years now, but I think about home and Sunderland as well in the UK.
Sure.
Like how much those bars when I was a kid, playing live music as well, become part of the community. And I read about in the history of this place that you did lose your lease, but that the city helped you find a new
so
place.
we used to be, this is the new Grog Shop. We've been here for 20 years. We were at the old Grog Shop for 11 years. It was on the same street down at the other end, and it was much smaller and just sort of like, I mean, kind of, when we moved here, the t-shirt said new Grog Shop, new bathrooms. That's all it said on it. So, because it was kind of before. But I struggled. Like, somebody bought the building, and then they wanted to put apartments above there. It was definitely not going to work with us. So we looked for a place for over a year. We never actually closed, so that was good. We literally, I finally found this place, and then of course the original landlord here didn't want us. They said, they were going to put like a, what's it called? One of those, like a clothing store in here. Like a
Gap or something.
It was, it wasn't Gap, but it was something with like a, a chain. And I was like, oh, that'd be horrible here. And then of course they realized that the chain didn't want to go to the street because there's no highways around here. So then they were sort of stuck, and they're like, well, maybe we'll consider you. And the city definitely gave us loans, and they really did help me a lot. And we were open. Literally, it's down the street. We closed on like a Saturday was our last show at that place, and then we opened here on a Wednesday. So simultaneously, I was building this and doing all the build out here, and to finance it, I had to still be open. There's no way I could have afforded to do it, even with loans and all the stuff that I had, because I needed an income. So we were closed for 3 days, and we came up here and like painted, and like you could see that mural up there. That's back in the day. Remember, you used to get, everybody would send the picture and with their press kits. So we made this mural like 2 days before we came in here. Like we were here probably every night until, I don't know, 5 in the morning working on it and doing other things. But so that was sort of like the homage from all the pictures that were from the old Grog.
That's awesome.
So that's all old Grog stuff. And there's our NEVA thing. So NEVA did their first conference here in Cleveland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So and that was last summer.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool, and that's, you know, all the venues that were part of it.
Yeah, it's great. And now that they've got the foundation as well, that was what because we were like, what could we raise money for NEVA? And then when we looked, we were like, oh, now they've got the foundation as well. So
that helps people. That, you know, and like, listen, there's been a lot of like natural disasters that really mess people up, and you know.
And how did you, so during COVID, I mean, how did you cope?
So we were closed.
Just closed, and that was it? Nothing you can really...
No, I mean, we sold a ton of merch.
Yeah.
So, like, that became the new thing. I basically was like, I sell t-shirts now.
Yeah.
It was kind of exciting. People were super supportive, and, like, anything we did, they would buy.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. There was, you know, fundraisers here and there. I think I did one show in a parking lot, you know, that kind of thing over the summer. And then when we were sort of allowed to open up, we did it for a couple months where we could, I think we were allowed to have 30 people in here. Maybe it was, I have a club downstairs, I think it was 30 downstairs. I think I could have 60 here, and we like make the circles on the ground.
Right, wasn't it? Like,
and everybody had to be masked, and you were only allowed to stay open till like 10 o'clock at night. So there was like curfews. It was all weird. I mean, quite frankly, looking back on it, I loved COVID. Yeah. I like miss. I never not worked that. Like I work every minute of my life, and I was like, this is lovely. Yeah. You know, once the fear of like losing everything that I own, my house, my bar, my like all my employees being out of work, and once, you know, fast forward 3 months when people sort of were, you know, on unemployment, and we knew that there might be some, relief in sight. I mean, even this was pre-NEPA money, but I don't know. I think my rent got paused. My landlord's pretty cool. He's like, you don't have to pay rent while you're closed, and I like turned off all my bills. But you know, there's still stuff. You know, so
there were, like, that's what I found with it. There was some people who were. There was some good during COVID. Like everyone focused on all the negative shit, and it was like. I thought, you know, musicians changed tack, like they were doing online shows and stuff like that, and people paid to go and view that.
We did a few live streams. It was cool. I mean, we sold the poster there. We remade that because I don't know if so in that thing, that mural was designed when we moved here. And so 21 years ago, and Jake, the artist, says this is a weird time to be alive. Yeah. And so when COVID hit, everybody was like, oh my God, it's so prolific. Oh my God, Jake. And people were like reposting it on their stories, like, you know, because people come in and take a picture in front of it. Yeah. So we made posters of that and sold like over 1,000 of them, maybe more. I don't even remember. So I used to go and like hand deliver them to people's houses. So I'm like, I have nothing else to do. I might as well walk around and it was really weirdly nice. I mean, once again, it was crazy and freaked out and all the fear and all that, but fast forward a year, we're still closed. I'm like, I like this, you know.
And people, so like you, in terms of you yourself, like people, you obviously had a couple of partners that moved out, you bought them out, you never regretted it, you enjoy doing this.
Oh God, do I regret getting rid of my partners?
No, do you regret ever owning a venue?
No, not really. I mean, I'm sure there's times that I'm like, this sucks, but then I'm like, what else?
It's hard work.
Yeah, but you know, like, once again, 31 years later, I mean, what the hell else am I going to do with my life? Exactly. I can't imagine like having a job where I had to answer to somebody and like follow rules and
were you a musician?
No.
So, but you were just a fan of live music?
Yes.
So
I mean, a lot of my staff are musicians. I'm just sort of like I'm the glue. I'm not
that's what I'm really like when I'm going around. I want to know from everyone like whether they're like frustrated musicians, right? Because what a better way, right?
Well, so it's like I think it's more difficult if you were like super passionate about music or this was like your dream, because then you don't make good decisions. You lead with your heart. I mean, I sometimes lead with my heart. I'm like, I love that band, so I'm going to pay them way too much money. But I think I'm a little bit more level-headed because I'm somewhat removed from it. I realize, like, okay, I've got to pay the bills and I got to do this, and you know, so I'm a little more thoughtful than like than passionate.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes passionate.
And you feel like it now is part of this community, right? This bar.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely an anchor in our neighborhood.
Yeah, and you when we looked in Cleveland and we asked a couple of people, it was like the Grog Shop came up straight away. So like outside of Cleveland, you all know.
Good to know. Where'd you go before here?
We were in New York, and only New York to start with, and we tried everywhere to try and get.
Talk to you?
No, couldn't get anyone to talk. It was weird. So we ended up actually which we'd never thought of, but it is.
What about like Brooklyn Bowl or somebody?
Yeah,
they're probably not independent
we couldn't get
anymore.
We weren't sure Brooklyn Bowl were independent. We tried the Bowery Ballroom.
Yeah,
we tried others, and we ended up the one we could get, which we hadn't thought of because we didn't think it was independent.
Like Eileen's Kitchen, something like that. There's a little one. I think it's called something like that. There's somebody in Hoboken that's a good one. That's an independent one.
We should have asked you. We should have asked.
See, if you ask any other independent club owners, they know what their counterpart is in every city.
We ended up doing and we're doing the interview by Zoom because the guy couldn't do it. But Kirst went and covered Blind Boys of Alabama. City Winery, because City Winery were independent as well. Yeah, it's nice.
It's a little bit of a chain, but not a chain. They just have a few.
I think they've got like 3.
Yeah.
But that one in New York's much bigger than the Chicago one.
Gotcha.
Like, it was surprising.
Oh yeah, that's Chicago one too. Yeah. Who are you going to talk to in Chicago?
So in Chicago, we had a bit of a disaster in Chicago. We were going to try and set up something ourselves, and it just never came off.
Yeah.
Like do something. So we've been talking to a few people. We talked to.
You guys talked to Bruce, Empty Bottle, or some of his
Empty
crew.
Bottle.
Although he's
tried.
He's an empire now, but he started like me, but now has an empire.
He's super busy. I think
Shubas would be a good one.
We've tried those guys. It's just hard getting in touch with people sometimes.
Yeah.
Talia Hall.
Oh well, that's Bruce too.
Yeah, that's Bruce.
But you could talk to his crew. He's a good guy.
And Talia, I think they did get back to us and said Bruce is difficult, like to get on his calendar, but we'll show you around the place.
Yeah.
Problem is we just couldn't make it work with the timing.
Gotcha.
So now we're trying the guys at FM Entertainment, I think. They own a couple of places, more sort of metal bars and stuff like that. But they're good venues. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna probably have to let this load in a
I'll
few
let you
minutes.
Do that. Thanks.
Do you have any other questions?
No, that's it
All
really.
right.
I think thanks for taking the time.
No problem.